Good morning everyone, and welcome to this little new catalogue launch and demonstration. So I hope everybody's keeping well. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you've been enjoying your morning and that I can share a little bit of creative time with you. So here's the lovely new catalogue. So there was two new collections in the catalogue. You might have noticed if you're a Kaszazz fan that I'm just going to turn the light on because I think it's just a little bit shadowy. I was wondering if that makes any difference. No, it's still a bit shadowy. That's all right, I think. Anyway, back to the catalogue. So the catalogue has been out since September, and I've had a couple of free make and takes here. But for those of you that weren't able to make it, I thought I'd do a little quick online thing. I did have one a couple of weeks ago, and I completely forgot about it because life just got a bit hectic. I'm sure you all know what that's like. So here's a quick look through the catalogue. So basically what I'll do is give you a quick look through the catalogue. If you'd like to get your hands on one, you're most welcome to contact me. Or you can view it online. So on the Kaszazz website, if you just go to the Kaszazz website, www.kaszazz.com, you'll find the catalogue there as well. But I always love to have one in my hot little hands. So as you can see, like I started saying before, if you've been a Kaszazz fan for a while, you'd notice that the orientation of the catalogue's changed. So I find it great because it means that you can open it and leave it open and it will stay open. So that's what I love about the new catalogue, the orientation of the new catalogue. So there was two new collections brought out by Kaszazz, and one was the floral splash, which I love because I love bright colours. So these are the papers. So as you can see, they're 12 by 12 and they're double-sided. So these are the lovely, gorgeous, lush colours. Oops, upside down. And you've got the little pockets, which could be used as card toppers, or you can use them in your scrapbooking. So I find that they're very versatile, the papers. You know, you could easily cut this down. You could use it as a whole page for a scrapbooking page, or you could cut them down to be little card toppers as well. So they're the papers of the floral splash. What also came out with the floral splash, what Kaszazz is bringing out now, are the collage pads as well. So these papers are just one-sided. There's 4 pieces of the one design in each pad. So you'll see it. There's only 2 in that one because I've already used it. But as you can see, lots of different colours. So that's just a quick look through, and then sentiments at the back. So great again for art journaling. There's a bit of colouring in that you can do as well. Lovely script. So I find these great for card making, for scrapbooking, for journaling. Lots of great ways to use that little pad. So they're $14.95 for that little pad of papers. And then, of course, lovely new stamps. So all the floral splash stamps, which I'll be demonstrating some of these beautiful stamps when I demonstrate the 3 different cards. The other new range, and then in the Elegant Foundations, they've included some extra stamps here. So they're the new stamps, the wedding stamps in the Elegant Foundation range. I'll just flip through to the other new paper range was the writer's block. So you can see here, these are the lovely new papers. And again, double-sided, the brick the text. I think this one's my favourite. The text and then the blue crackle on the other side. So if you've got any questions, I don't have a moderator here today, but if you've got any questions, please comment and I'll get back to them when I'm finished this demonstration. So again, the stamps are absolutely beautiful in this range, real vintage type look about them. And of course, this one's been our old favourite, the tiger, now joined by the leopard and the lion. So again, beautiful stamps, lots of detail in those stamps. Oh, amazing that I turned to this page here. I have to show you a close-up. I don't know if you can see there, created by Lucy Jones. That'd be me. So I was lucky enough to have one of my projects included in the catalogue. So that's my beautiful husband there. Life's always a picnic with him. That's the new little chipboard. So each of the new ranges has a chipboard included and they've got a stencil that's recommended with that range as well. Of course, you don't have to use it with that range, but that's just Kaszazz's suggestion that you might like to include that when you're using that paper collection. Remembering too, all of our stamps are actual size, so what you see is what you get. Then the other new exciting news is Ranger has brought out a new ink colour called Speckled Egg. So that was included in the new range as well. And I'll be demonstrating or showing you that colour. It's absolutely beautiful. The other little ones, the new ones, which I wasn't fussed on to begin with, is the llama and the sloth range. I sort of thought, don't know if I like those, but Julie Staughty, one of our amazing consultants, has designed a set of cards that looks absolutely amazing with them. So, of course, I've had to buy this set as well. So I particularly love the No Drama Llama. Isn't that's the way life should be? No drama llama. Okie dokes. The other new things that Kaszazz has been making is lots of stencils. So there was lots of new stencils added to the range. I'll just try and see if I can... Oh, the chipboard. We might talk about the chipboard first because there's lots of new chipboard. You might have seen the letters that came out last year as one of the promotions. So they've been included in the range now. So you can buy those letters individually if you'd like. So they're $2.95 per letter, and they come with the little vines as well. So they're very sweet. The other new chipboard, so again, lots of new chipboard words, the mandalas, the chipboard mandalas, which were a bit of a promotion during the year as well. So you can buy them individually or you can buy each of them. So you can buy them the whole set as well, when it works out a lot cheaper if you like all of them to buy the whole set. The other new chipboard that I absolutely love and have been having lots of fun with is this little one down here, the little mini journal kit. So it comes as just the chipboard. It comes, so there's 6 chipboard pages and then 3 rings that put together. So I've decorated this little one. You might have seen this. I think I demonstrated this on my Facebook page, just gave you a little look through it. So I've used the new papers, the Floral Splash, as you can see, lots of lovely bright. I've also used the Dandelion stencil here with texture paste. I've used the Gemini die cut here. And then the new stamp, the Imagination Artistic Creativity stamp. I have used the Waterfall die, which is a Crafter's Companion die, which very sadly has been retired. But if anybody lives on the Central Coast and would like to come and make a mini journal, I've had a mini journal day recently and the girls absolutely loved it. They created some wonderful things. I'm having another day this coming Monday where some of the girls are coming back to finish off their journals. But if you'd like to do a journal and you weren't able to come before, then just contact me and we'll see what we can organise. Or if you'd like to hire my die, my little waterfall die, you're most welcome. I think it's really cool. Then all the other bits and pieces that you can see in here, I was basically, one of our other new products is the watercolour pans. And I've been having a play with this. So this is my little play with the watercolours here and here. And I thought, well, this little mini album would be a way that I can showcase, or, collect those little bits and pieces that I've been decorating. So this little die is our envelope die that I've used to create this little pocket. Here's another little envelope die pocket that I've created here with sort of more watercolouring bits and pieces. The little pockets, another little pocket here with the little roses. And then more pockets here with more bits and pieces of watercolouring. And another little pocket, the little lavender bush. I think that's okay. For my first crack at watercolouring, I'm sort of quite happy. And the little cornflowers here. Oh, I've lost something out of this little pocket. I can't remember what was in that little pocket, but it's gone by the wayside. It'll turn up again. So many people have been looking at this that it could be anyway. So that's my little creation that I did using the new floral papers. So the other new thing are all the stencils. So there's tons of new stencils. As you can see, this is the new dandelion stencil that I used on that journal. There's the tree, which I think is quite lovely as well. And then the crackle. So that's just a couple of them. There's so many new stencils that you can see here. Also lots of new card making kits, new dies as well. So there was the heart, the hexagon, and the stars dies. So, and they've all got the stitch outline with them as well. So they look really nice. What else? Oh, the other new thing is the collage medium. So Rangers brought out this distressed collage medium, which I find is fantastic for art journaling, for sticking down your papers, but it's also great for card making and sticking down papers as well, because you know how I'll often use glossy accent to stick down small bits and pieces, but I find that if the glue smushes out, it's really shiny, whereas with the collage medium, it dries matte. So it's great. It's got the little nozzle on it, so you can get your glue onto really small areas as well. So that's another great product that's come out by Ranger. Then I think that's it. And then there's lots of new kits, scrapbooking kits, card making kits. So with Christmas coming up, they make a great present. Also, there's the vouchers as well, the Hessian tote bags and the Kaszazz mugs too, to have a little think about. Also the gift bags are there as well. So please let me know if I can be of service to you with regards to a new catalogue, and we'll get on with the demo now so you can see these products in action. So the three little cards, I'm going to demonstrate three little cards today. So they're the three cards I'm going to demonstrate. So you can see here I've had a play with the watercolour pans. So people keep thinking I'm saying pans instead of paints. They are watercolour paints, but they're in pans, hence the word pans. So they come in a little container. So that's them. So they're very lovely to use. They're, as you can see, the colours very bright and vivid. So as I'm talking about those, I may as well start off with those. So all I'm going to do, it's very simple, It comes with a paintbrush. The paintbrush is small, so I think I've used that to create these flowers, which are a little bit smaller. But I thought I might do some bigger flowers, so I'm going to use the larger brush. So all you're doing is wetting your brush. Oh, actually, no, I'll wet the paints first. They seem to move better when you wet them. So I'm just going to wet the colours that I'm going to use, which is the purple and the indigo. And might use the green. Yes, I use the green for the leaves. So just a pop, just a little bit of water on the paints, and that will just help them move a bit. So I'm going to go for the purple, and then I'm just going to put a bit of purple in the lid. And then I'm just going to do 3 sort of U shapes. Then I'm going to wash my brush off. And then I'm just going to spread that paint. So you just spread it up. Now you can flick it so that it looks more like an aster or like a cornflower sort of thing. Or you can just take it up so it looks more like a tulip sort of shape. Whatever, you know, whatever shape you're kind of feeling. Then we're going to wash that off. And I'm going to do some indigo. Now what we could do is just add a little bit here to the bottom of the flowers, just to give it another little bit of colour. Just by adding a bit of water, it makes it... So just experiment with it. It's not like it's a bit of paper. It's nothing that you need to worry about. Just have a play and enjoy what you can create. So again, just wiping the brush off. And then just flicking that up and seeing what shapes you can create. So that just looks like 5 little blobs on there. I tend to work in uneven numbers, so odd numbers. Uneven numbers, odd numbers. So that's, you can see that there, that's still a little bit wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw the little stalks on them. So now, I never can remember what thickness these pens are. Oh, that's quite thin. I quite like that. We'll see what the next size appears. Oh, that's even thinner. So 0.1. Okay, that's a 0.3. We'll try 0.5. Yeah, might go the 0.5, I think. So all you're going to do is just draw the stalks. Now don't end the stalks all at the same level. Just add the stalks to where, so that they're a little bit different levels. And then we can draw little leaves. So, you know, what sort of leaves you like. You might do them all the same, or you might do them different shapes, whatever you're wanting to do. I'm going to draw little bud ones. This one, and I like this shape, so I'm going to do a couple of those. And long. So that's on. Oh, now we can paint the leaves. So with a little bit of green. And so then just paint in the leaves. Okay, I think that's not quite dry yet. So what else you can add, another little feature you can add is if you have a look on this one, I don't know if you can see it clearly. I've added the little stamen here. I think they're called sepals, the little petals from the bud here and here. The pink ones are still a little bit too wet here to show you, but I'll show you on the blue ones seem to be dry. So all you're doing is a little kind of heart, like sort of like a teardrop shape to create that. Okay, and then the other ones is the little, you could do little flicks. You know, it's just whatever you want to do to fill in that space. You can also, what I did too on some of the others on this one, is I've done a few little flicks of the paint. And so then all you do with that is just make the paint quite watery, and then you just tapping your brush. So just giving it a little tap to then create the little flecks on there. And then all you're doing there is then adding it to a black mat and then stamping your sentiment on the bottom of your card. So that's that little one. But there's lots of YouTube. This little demonstration was by a lady, and I'm so sorry I've forgotten her name, but she's got a YouTube where she shows this this technique. So if you just Google watercolor painting for amateurs, you know, easy, you'll get that tutorial. It's very good. So lots of interesting tutorials out there. So the next little one that I'll demonstrate is these. So again, I've used lots of different stamps from the Writer's Block collection. And you can see here, for most of them, I've used the blue, which is Blueprint Sketch, the Salty Ocean, and the Evergreen Bough. But on this one, I've used a more vintage look. So I think I was working with the Floral Splash a lot, so I went the bright colours, but then I thought, well, it really does lend itself to those more vintage colours as well. So this is the colour range, the vintage colours that I'm going to demonstrate today. But I thought, my husband's a bit of a beer drinker. He loves a bit of a beer. So I thought I'd do the beer card today and show you how I've done that. But it would be the same for any of the stamps. So all we're doing now, usually when I emboss onto a card, I use the puff pillow, and especially when I use black embossing powder. But today, I find these stamps are quite vintage, so I don't mind if there's going to be a few bits of extra black speckle around the place. So what I'm going to do, and I've just realised I've forgotten my heat tool, so I'll just go and grab it. But I first of all will stamp and get the embossing powder on, and then I'll go and grab my heat tool. I knew I'd forget something. I was here before we started going, now have I got everything? And I'm going, yes. And then of course comes to the embossing. So just pressing down. So making sure you ink up the stamp well, and then pressing down off, and then popping the embossing powder on straight away. Now I've got some scrap paper here. So what the puff pillow does is it takes the static out of the paper so that your embossing powder only sticks to the stamped image rather than getting black speckles everywhere. So see how I've got these few black speckles around here and here? that would prevent it from happening. But because it's, like I said, it's vintage, I don't actually mind. Now, excuse me for a second. I'm just going to go and grab the heat tool. I'm back. There we go. Whoops. I better put the powder out of the way. So just going to heat that up. So I find with embossing, if you aim it in one area and wait until that has heated up and then move it, and my my heat tool is not, the power cord isn't long enough. So I'm just, what's happening there? Excuse me, I'm going to have to do this out of range. There we go. And of course, because I couldn't see it, I've overcooked the top of the beer bottle. That's all right. So with black embossing powder, you do need to be a bit careful as well, because if you overcook it, you'll get a flat area. So I don't know if you can see so much on the top of the bottle. Oh no, it's just because I haven't heated it. There you go. Now, because I touched it when it was still wet, I've not done that very well. So, but you'll get the general gist of it. I just haven't taken enough care. So that's all now been heated. And you can see there is a few black speckles around the place, but that doesn't worry me at all. So these are the 3 inks that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use antique linen, tea dye, and aged mahogany. Now, it doesn't matter which one you start off with, but I'm going to start off with the light one first, which is the antique linen. So I'm just circling around on the ink pad. This is a new blending tool, so it hasn't got a lot of ink on it, so I'm just going to ink it up. I find that with blending, if you've got a little foam that has lots of ink on it, then it helps to blend better. So starting off the page and then just circling onto the page. So again, just starting off the page and circling on. And you're just going lightly. And then as you build up the colour, or you might decide that that colour depth is what you're happy with. So it's basically what you're happy with. This is your card, it's not mine. Now we're going to go to the tea dye. And again, you can see this is a well-inked blending tool. Again, starting off the page and going over where you've blended the antique linen. And again, starting off lightly, and then as you build up the ink, you can press more heavily. More heavily, you can press heavier. And then the aged mahogany for the last. So again, you can, I think I've got something, a bit of grit or something caught under that. That's making it a little bit rougher. There you go. So you're just going as deep as you want to. Now I quite like that light area there. I was thinking about going over it again, but it looks like there's light shining down. So I think I'm actually going to leave that. Now what you could do is either with the brown or the red, or if you wanted to use a darker brown, you could just brush around it, giving it a bit of a frame. So you've now got a bit of a frame around it. We could add the brown as well. So again, it's up to you. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So now, because it's a little bit empty, like it's just that, because the beer bottles aren't taking up the whole area, I thought we might just pop some of the cogs and clocks on. So again, this is another new stamp from the Writer's Block collection, and it's a great filler. So just inking that up and then just adding it as a filler, and it'll come up lighter than your emboss, so it just falls into the background a bit nicer. So you can sort of do a bit of generation stamping there where you're not stamping with the full colour. So that's the little piece completed. So then all you're doing is then putting it again on a black mat and then adding your little sentiment down the bottom. So that's the second one. So moving on to the third one, I'm going to be using our lovely Elegant Foundations stencil, which is one of our new stencils that has been brought out, and the Speckled Egg. So this is the lovely Speckled Egg colour. So it's sort of like a bluey grey. It's quite lovely. So all you're going to do is put the stencil over the top. Now, you could do it with a blending tool, but I find the blending tool doesn't get the detail that you get when you use the blending brush. So the blending brushes are great. They remind me of a shading brush. They're great for doing stenciling because all these little hairs get into the corners. So again, you're just dabbing it on and then just circling it around over the top of your stencil. And probably not going darker towards the edges of your piece of card. Just a bit lighter in the middle. Okay. So it really is quite a lovely colour. Let's put this away. And so then the next thing we're doing is with the blending tool, and again you could go around the edge with the blending brush, but again I probably want a more defined edge. So I'm just going to go around with the blending tool. So of course if you don't have both, then you use what you've got. Okay. And again, there's nothing too delicate about it. You just put it on. Then we're going to stamp with our new little floral stamp. So I'm just going to put that up in the corner. Be up in that, yep, that top corner. So again, when I'm stamping, I always have the stamp flat on the table and take the ink to the stamp. That way you're doing it, and there's less chance of you inking the edges of your stamp if you're just tapping down like that. Then what I need to do is, on a piece of scrap paper, not scrap paper, you know, on a piece of white card, like on an offcut, you're going to stamp it again. But mainly you just want the little flowers. So I'm just going to stamp into the corner here. So I just get the flowers. So just these little flowers you're wanting. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to paint the flowers. So if you can see here, I've got this one and this little one are cut separately. So these are the ones that are cut. So we've got our stamped image on here, but now we're going to overlay them with these. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of pink. So just on an acrylic block, a little bit of pink. So that's tattered rose, and a little bit of the speckled egg. Using the water brush, I'm just going to pick up a bit of the pink and then colour in. So you can just circle around. Again, you don't have to be too fussy about this. It's just basically getting the colour on. Of course, if you want to be fussy, then you can be fussy, but you don't need to be. Just on your scrap paper, just wipe the brush until the colour is clear, and then you can paint your little blue flower as well. So I've got two prepared. So you're just going to cut them out singly and put those away for another day. And then on our little sheet here, we're going to colour in these. So we're going to colour in the little flowers, the leaves, and these leaves here. So the green that I've used to create the card is bundled sage. So I've just done the same thing there and coloured in with the bundled sage. And then I've alternated between the blue and the pink for the little flowers. So just finishing off these little flowers here. That little one there. Okay, so then you're just finishing off those. Then what you're doing is, with a little bit of tape, you're going to add the little blue flower into position. Now with your pink one, we're going to put a little brad in the centre of it. So these are our mixed brads. They're quite lovely with different different markings on each one. So just pick whichever one you want. I'm just going to use this one here. Now I find the little brads at the back are quite, the little stick pin parts are quite thick. So I find if you use the paper piercer, it's not thick enough. So I tend to use the multi-tool pokey part, and that way you can get a nice big hole. So I use the old cork mat for stabbing into. Give it a bit of a wriggle as well, so you've got a good size hole to then put your brad through easily. So that's just going to go straight through. Then a little piece of mounting tape on the back. And then you're just looking for, I always look for this one with the little line across it. So that lines up perfectly. Okay, then what we can do is, when we're at that stage, I know we need a little sentiment. So I'm going to turn this into a Oh no, create magic. I do like that little saying. So I'm just going to stamp that up. So just put, so again you can put any sentiment you like. This one's the with love. I think I've got, I haven't got anything on that one. The thank you on that one. So this card really does lend itself to lots of different sentiments. It could even be a sympathy card too. So, you know, it's whatever you want it to be. Then of course we colour in the rest of that. So what am I up to? So then we just, once that's done, you're going to pop it onto your card. So again, what I find is I just use 4 pieces of tape, and this tape is great because you can just tear it. You don't have to worry about scissors. Where's the one I was working on? This one. This one. So again, and then just peeling off the tape. Now, if you find you don't have fingernails, that's where the paper piercer does come in handy, and it's easy just to lift the tape off with the paper piercer. So just orientating that so you're getting that even border. So I tend to find I look above it. So often stand up, make sure it's lined up, and then you can press it down. This tape is a little bit forgiving as well, in the fact if you don't press it down too firmly, you can easily take it back off again and then have another go at repositioning. So then the last thing, once your piece is on your card, so again 4 pieces of tape on the back there, popping it on your card, is the popping the liquid pearls. So I've used the sage on top of the blue flowers and the rose gold for the pink flowers. So all you're doing in the center of the blue flowers, you're just doing a little dab of the liquid pearls. Now what you can do is on a scrap piece of paper before you start them, because sometimes when you use the liquid pearls, it can glob out quite quickly. So again, on a scrap piece of card, on your scrap paper, wherever, just do yourself a little line so that you get a little feel for, you know, the little pearls and how your liquid pearls is flowing. So just going to do another one in the center of the little green one. And you can see here I've already done the little stamen on the flowers. And just finish off with the centers in the little pink flowers. So that probably will take at least an hour, I'd say 3/4 of an hour to an hour to dry. So that's why I always do the wet stuff last. Make sure you've got your card put together first and then do your wet stuff. So that's it really. I think if you've got any questions about anything, please feel free to contact me. And I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration and a look through our new catalogue. There is released yesterday the new Autumn Fair range as well. So there's more new products are out, so you would have received an email from Kaszazz about that. If it wasn't yesterday, then it'll definitely be today, so look out for that. So that's the new Autumn Fair range, and it's quite cute. So if you've got little ones in the family, it'll be a great range to use with them. And I'll be doing an online, once I get my hands on the products, I'll do another one of these online demonstrations using those new products. Okay, so look, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all soon, hopefully in person. Okay, bye.